Christmas, so it's just like it hasn't been a year yet.
Well, now you're near me.
For the dogs, or the hay, yeah.
And the budget.
Call the meeting to order, Town of Palmyra. Town Board meeting, January 8th, 2023, 6 p.m., Palmyra Town Hall, W 1125, Highway 106, Palmyra, Wisconsin. Certification of compliance with open meetings law.
It was posted on the website and the town hall floor.
Roll call.
Slaughter,
Here.
Martins,
Here.
Gajewski.
Here.
Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approved minutes from December 11th, 2023, Town Board meeting, December 19th, 2023, special Town Board meeting, December 27th, 2023, special Town Board.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from those three meetings.
Motion has been made to approve the minutes from said meetings. Is there any further discussion?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, public comment. Oops. Oh, okay, sorry. Approved bills is presented.
Alright, so this is the time of year where I'll have a list of checks for the general account and then a list of checks from the tax account. So from the general account, we paid the airport back the $20 for the Bobcat lease. We decided to be part of the Wisconsin Towns Association TAC program, which was $458.63. We owed the assessor for the fourth installment of the 2023 contracts, that was $3,125. We Energies by the airport was $172.62. Brightspeed, which is our internet, was $118.67. Quadient is the stamp machines companies, and for fourth quarter that was $79.09. We Energies, Cycle One by the airport was $61.47. LRS, which is the garbage and recycling, garbage was $6,749.98. Recycling was $3,083.39. Sauter's salary was $369.40. Martin's salary was $230.87. Gajewski's salary was $230.87. Lowry's salary with postage for sending out property tax bills and receipts was $3,279.85. Northwest Services for a couple of invoices came to $19,815. And then for the Humane Society of Jefferson, who we contract with for our stray dog services, was $3,284.66. There's another set of invoices from Northwest Services, which came to $33,605.65. The village for fire and EMS was $59,566.25. The board is giving $2,000 to the Lower Spring Lake as a donation. They are also giving $5,000 to the Village Park and Rec for a donation. Jefferson County, we owed them for voting machine maintenance and licensing fees. That was $774.61. From Lang for signs, we had two invoices. One was $338.63 and another one was $37.45. TS Technologies, which is the IT staff for support, was $23.75. The following people are our election workers, and they went to some training recently. Sandra Murphy, $46.08. Kate Demler, $24. Mark Montgomery, $40.27. Leslie Ott, $43.72. Susan Halser, $44.20. Jefferson County Highway Department, we owe for signs, labor, machinery, and brine was $1,177.72. Quill is the company I go for office supplies, and I needed ink cartridges. That was $478.96. I have to do a quarterly wages and tips report, and that came out to $2,019.60. And then QuickBooks would be $649 for the year. That's the general account, and then in the tax account, I had to write some refund checks. Angela McAdams got $46.35. Lucas Twelmeyer got $525.95. Dale Hood got $101.74. John Kwazorski got $56.99. Michael Eddy, it was $53.09. Joseph Nicosia was $44.81. Todd St. Martin was $49.53. Kevin Brodzik was $45.83. Corey Goro was $3,272.34. Todd Wetterling was $46.02. Rob Martins was $1,598.67. Steve Beauchamp, $46.78. Mary Ann Schultz had $18.74. William Gray was $46.13. Sarah Straka, $48.07. Adam Long, $199.22. Jeremy Went, $4,377.28. Eric Sobchak, $10. Frank Marinello, $801.82. And we just got our January settlement, so I was able to write the checks that we need to send out to the different entities for all the money that I collected for taxes. So Jefferson County Treasurer was $470,575.08. Lower Spring Lake, they got not only a tax settlement, but they also get special assessments, and that came to $3,463.45. Blue Spring Lake Management also got a tax settlement and special assessments. That was $60,386.29. The town will actually get $169,181.39 out of that January settlement. Fort Atkinson School District gets $12,770.78. Palmyra Eagle School District gets $833,957.25. MATC gets $878.75, and the Wisconsin Technical School gets $35,121.62.
What causes all the refunds?
One particular guy, I think it was Corey Gora, his bank overestimated what he would need in the escrow because the taxes went down. A couple of people, they claimed a lottery credit, so their escrow may have paid a certain amount, but they took the lottery credit, which was like $199 and something. So it's a lot of different reasons. One guy overpaid, so I owe him $10 back. They had an escrow check, and then they wrote their own check, and they were paid over $10.
I see nothing in here for Larson's law firm.
I don't have an invoice for that. Were you expecting a recent one?
Well, you would think you'd want to finish up with this.
Yeah, I haven't seen a recent one.
Have either one of you guys had contact with him? I have. And he was supposed to get some things done by the end of the year, the last two things he's working on, it's not done yet. I called her today.
Right, so, yeah, go ahead.
Question on the Humane Society.
Yes.
Check. Is that related to what we're talking about on the agenda with the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So realistically, if we approve this, then we're going with them regarding this.
Right, and I can void the check if you decide not to go with them. maybe decide to do something else.
Well, right, but we approved the bills to be paid, and then to your point, it's on the agenda.
Well, we haven't done the roll call yet, so you could leave that out if you want, when we do the roll call.
I would move that we remove check number 4164 to the Humane Society of Jefferson County from the bill list.
Okay.
Second.
Well, it's a roll call vote of the vote,
Well, you
bill,
have
so,
to.
so
Yeah.
I'll, vote to pay the bills except for check number 4165.
I have a question on those. Just out of curiosity, what's the Fort Atkinson School District?
Is that on the tax one?
Yeah, 12,770.
That's part of the, tax base, whenever, I think there's like 12 households that are in the Fort Atkinson School District. And so there's a small portion of the taxes on their tax bills that goes to Fort Atkinson School District.
Okay, so there's town residents that are actually in the Fort District?
Yep, I think there's like 12, well, I should say there's 12 I know of because they're registered voters, there could be more.
Okay,
Yep,
thanks.
That must be up on Marion and Cook Road or something.
I think Mary,
Should we start again?
Don't start over, let's just keep going.
That was just
Well, we-
discussion.
That's all right.
Okay, well, we have the motion to remove 4164.
Okay, all in favor of, paying all the bills except for check number 4164? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and then now we need to do a roll call vote on the bills besides that one. So Sauter,
Aye.
Martins,
Aye.
Gieske,
Aye.
Now we'll get to public comment. Could somebody grab a sheet, please? Okay, today when I call your name, state your name and address, please. Stand up if you can, I know one person here that's suffering a little bit. 2 minutes, Terry Orchard.
Hang on, Mitch is Sherry. Hi, I just wanted to reiterate that this deal with Marion's, I don't wanna repeat all that stuff in there, for people to remember that it's going to increase the tax base, help with the tax base, I should say. And with the houses there would be more security for that parking lot that's there. So I just wanna put that out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leslie Ott.
I'm still opposed to this, property. Josh, I do want to thank you for responding to the emails, and acknowledging those other concerns. I'm wondering why we're visiting this again. It was already turned down once before. It's still an environmental corridor, nothing's changed. We still have endangered plant and animal species out there. 3 home sites on that property would have a negative impact on the environment. You're putting wells and septics in there. I'm also wondering how safe the wells would be, having the previous industrial activity there. I don't know if any studies have been done there. And building those home sites would also go against the land preservation plan for Jefferson County. You'd also be hindering the DNR, their management of the forest area there. And it would, they wouldn't be able to do their controlled burns and effectively manage that area. So I would oppose this rezoning proposal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Okay. Teresa Stegman?
Hi, I'm Teresa Stegman, and I live in the town of Whitewater, and I'm a state natural areas volunteer. Just want to talk a little bit about oak savannas. Oak savannas are globally imperiled. Less than 0.01% of oak savanna remain on Earth today, and much of what remains is degraded or threatened. And thanks to the glacier, we have oak savanna that was untouched by agriculture because it was rocky soil and hilly, so it wasn't farmed. And so that oak savanna is historically significant. The plant communities complex community of plants that have existed together for centuries, and they form a group that, am I done?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well, I'm stumbling on my words here.
You can keep going until he figures out his phone.
Even though we want to do all we
Land
can,
sakes.
even though we want to do all we can to protect rare and migrating species, the kettle rain oakley is much more than its rare species. Rare plants thrive in the diversity of a native landscape, and buffers are needed to safely execute a controlled burn. If fire is moved as a management tool, the area will degrade, reversing decades of restoration work, and then limited resources will be directed elsewhere where conditions are more favorable for burns. I've spent a lot of time over the years working on the hillside below Bald Bluff, removing invasive species and saving the floral community of plants that have existed on that hillside for countless centuries. The Ice Age Trail below Bald Bluff is one of my favorite areas to hike because I so often can spot red belly or hognose snakes sunning on the trail, and in the springtime there are a glorious community of bellworts in bloom, one of my favorite flowers. I've never seen anything like it anywhere in the Kettle Moraine State Forest. I guess you could say that it's personal for me, but I also want to protect this area from development because it's such a beautiful
Okay,
area
thank you, ma'am.
that so many generations can
Ma'am.
appreciate, even if one doesn't fully understand its wildlife value. Thank you.
Thank you for the information.
Dave Hill.
As I live right across the street from there, M205 County Road H. I'm in favor of it. I'd much rather see a couple of houses go there than more storage units than already on that site. So for me, it's pretty much a no-brainer to have the houses instead, so just my 2 cents.
Thank you very much. Reports, treasurer.
As of the end of December 2023, in the general fund, we had $13,551.94. In the tax account, we had $548,656.49. In the LGIP general, we had $519.28. In the LGIP fire and EMS, we had $2.85. The airport had $31,458.26, and the LGIP airport had 55 cents.
Clerk's report.
We got the voting machines back, everything went really well, and we are only going to have 3 elections next year. And there was a recent decision on the absentee ballots where minor, things missing from the witness signature, their address, does not negate that absentee ballot. So like if they have Palmyra, Wisconsin and not a zip code, or if they have Palmyra and a zip code and not Wisconsin, things like that, so. But we'll see if that gets appealed and if there's another court decision coming on down the line, so.
Is the highwayman here? How you doing, Ron?
Good, good. I'm ready to get all the snow for everybody. And just so everybody knows that it looks like it's coming, we won't be doing intersections until the last round. It's looking like it could be 3 rounds. And they keep moving it, so I really can't give you a time. But originally it looked like we'd be going out about 3. Now it looks like we'll be going out about 5 in the morning. But if they keep moving it back and shortening it, obviously we'll go and have the right amount to start the job.
Would, at your convenience, would you get a hold of Rob and at his convenience, take around the town, see what you think should be looked at and that type of thing, same with.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a road tour, I just didn't get to it with all the things that are going on right now in my situation at work and life. But I already did Jefferson and Hebron, so what I'll maybe do is just get Rob, and me and Rob can go do that at the same time. That way we can.
You did mention to me something about, if snow's slow, what do you do
Right.
with the trees?
Well, what we do in, going into the winter is from January 1st till March 31st, anytime that you spend more than $5,500 that month, we give you 10% off the whole bill. but I didn't get a chance to go do the tour, so you could look to see what it is that, now if we get this, all the snow, that will change what can be done.
Right.
It'll just be aerial. But 2 years ago, when we did all the aerial down in Hooper and Zion, we cut that before the moratorium was pulled on the oak trees. So now the moratorium's on the oak trees, we could go back and clean up the oak trees, so that would be done. But
I see you're doing a good job on, Tamarack. How many more days do you think you got left there?
probably 3 more days, we're up to the trail. We got like 3 trees and we're at the trail. Right now, there's like 68 trees that have been taken out. And a tree is considered anything over 8 inches in our world. And that's not, and most of these trees are dead. I would say probably 75% of the trees we have taken out are dead. And then, and that doesn't count the aerial, which sometimes cutting down aerial is almost as much as a whole tree.
So you're trying to get to Hebron right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave to go to Hebron right now, yes.
Yeah, you wanna send it? Oh, did I sign that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy, look at all that. You just said that.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm gonna send the other one, so is that
Oh.
address right?
Yes, it is.
Also, I was out at Blue Spring Lake the other day. I will tell you, I had 2 very, very positive comments about the rushing or the tornado situation, the easements, et cetera. Very, very positive comments.
And we
And make
did,
sure you tell the crew that.
okay, we did get that fire ramp all done to that waterway now, so they'll be able to get in there and park a water pump truck in, so it'll be way safer in the future. And it's marked and it'll be fully plowed. I'm at the fire department on that, because I did not call the fire department.
I'm in communications there. on that.
Okay,
I'm
and
ready to
then-
stay.
So everybody knows here, the roads will be narrow until the end, because the ground is so soft, we can't risk getting our trucks over to the edge of the road, we'll take out the side of the road, plus we'll be stuck. So the last time out, when we have a little bit more time to be precise in daylight, we'll try to wing it back, but we'll have a step. Okay? Thanks, everybody, for letting us.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks.
I will mention under highways that, that was part of the bills. Out there where the dry hydrant is, or the SNR 8 farm on 59 by Marsh Witensky Road, I should say. You notice the sign was changed? Anyway, that's all ready to go for a fire truck. Where 2 can get in there. Ron brought it to my attention, and I went out there, and my God, there was a drop off like that from the pavement. If they'd have dropped in front of a fire truck off, they'd have broke all the piping underneath the truck off probably, because it hangs pretty low. So that's all ready to go as far as getting in and out of there, so. Okay, fire department, I've got a report someplace there. Oh, I did that. Well, I'll find it eventually.
Is it under the other side?
Safety right there.
Oh, man, it's really getting bad. 1/5/23, this is dated, Derek Hurley, Deputy Chief, could not be here tonight. The Fire Rescue Division responded to 15 calls for service, 7 were in the village, 47%, 5 were in the town, 33%. 3 calls were from mutual aid, to another municipality, 20%. 11 of the 15 calls were medical in nature, 73%. Tender 8691 responded to Whitewater's mutual aid for a structure fire as part of a Mavis box alarm request. A job posting for 3 full-time EMT positions was posted and completed as of 12/29/23. We received 9 applications. Applicants are scheduled for interviews through the 2nd week of January. Anticipated hire dates for successful applications are the 1st week of February. And within the next 2 weeks, they'll have that dry hydrant out at Witensky Road and 59 ready to go. If there's a problem, they'll let us know, because we're responsible for taking care of that. Any questions on that? Sheriff's Department. He's not here tonight. I did send a letter to Patrick Farley. He did respond back to me. I did bring the attention of the Tamarack Road, Little Prairie, no trucks, etc. They're very, very short-handed now, but they have been doing some extra patrol. I did talk to the third shift officer. There was one citation issued out there on Tamarack Road on third shift to a truck. So at least somebody's doing something, but they only have one truck informant, DOT certified deputy in the village. So, airport, I think I see the airport manager back there, Jeff, how you doing?
Good. Nothing new, just kind of trying to wrap up the year, we're ready for snow tomorrow, forget it, so,
Cool.
other than that, not much going on.
And the next airport commission meeting is, I believe, the 17th. Number 6, Blue Spring Lake District.
Nothing really other, we've got an agenda item to talk about, and we'll talk about that right then, as opposed to now, so.
Building inspector,
I didn't have anything.
emergency management, nothing to speak of on that. Correspondence,
I didn't have anything. Well, I have emails, but it's part of the mirroring thing, so we're not doing that.
we did get a nice letter from Ian, thank you very much to the board members and everybody that signed it. We're trying to do the best we can for you. Anything else? Oh,
One quick question, WTA sent out that they're having a meeting in Whitewater in February, I forget the date, but if you guys are planning on going to that, we're gonna have to let Laura know for a potential forum notice. I'm hoping that I can, but
what date is it, Jim?
I don't remember off the top of my head, I wanna say,
Yeah.
make that a, tell you in a second. Maybe.
It's one of the regional ones or
Yeah.
whatever they are, yeah.
Cause the last one I was at, I thought was the end of June.
I think it's in February, but I could be wrong. Nonetheless, if you're gonna go, then we'll obviously have to coordinate with Laura.
I'll find the email and resend it. Okay.
Any other correspondence? Nothing? Old business. Number 1, discussion and possible action, highway maintenance agreement with LaGrange. I went out and spoke to the superintendent, Patrick Hoffman, who's about ready to retire. They're hiring a new fellow out there, Eric somebody, in a couple weeks, and but he'll ride with him or do it, work with him for about a year. Okay, as far as Young Road goes, it's always been the policy. H West is LaGrange, they take care of the tree trimming, the whole thing, paving, etc. Our responsibility, folks, is Young H to Tamarack, both sides of the road. Their responsibility is from Tamarack to Little Prairie, both sides of the road, paving, etc. Having said that, we've got an issue on, with trees again, trees on Young between Tamarack and H, where they're starting to come down. Somebody went out there and cut some trees at, this far off the ground, around the bottom with a chainsaw. Well, what's gonna happen? They're all gonna die. Now they're gonna start falling down. Now, who did that is beyond me, but, there's like 9 or 10 of them out there. Now, I did get out there with Ron and we marked them. I did ask the DNR for help. I've been in communications with the new supervisor out there, Brian, is his first name. Anyway, he's gonna try and get some of his guys to do some of that, because he's asked the town to do a couple things, and we got that done for him too, so. But that is the way it is, and we're responsible for paving, fixing, and that's the way it's been since he started 22 years ago, that's the way it's been. Also, reference the no trucks on Tamarack, he said there used to be signs where they went, they don't know, but when you came out of SNR, or got to Bluff on Tamarack, heading towards Palmyra, there was truck route left, truck route right, the signs disappeared. So he asked me to go to the next meeting, he thought I should, of LaGrange, and bring that up and go through that. Which happens to be the same night we do this, but they start at 7:30, so I'll have to talk quick next month. Hear that? We'll start at 4. So that's Lagrange. Okay. Number 2, discussion and possible action on the Bobcat attachments.
I've reached out to a few different companies, haven't gotten a response from any of them. Ron has the information, he's taken a look at it, Ron Bennett, to see if he has any interest in it, but at this point anyway, I'm okay moving forward with an auction, because we can always take it off the auction if Ron would be interested. We agreed on a price, but, you know, as long as we set a reserve and put it out there, I'm okay with that.
Okay, per previous discussions and offers, and what we talked about the last time, in my head, I've come up with a reserve of $59,950, and see where it goes. 77,000 is what the thing cost us. John, Mr. Marion, you're into that stuff. I mean, you think that'd be a good place to start? I mean, we've already lost.
Right, I mean, I would get recommendation from a salesman at a dealership.
Well,
I mean,
that's-
that's just,
That's what we do.
I mean, if you put the reserve high enough, you know, you could always try again, you know.
Right. So I'd
And
like,
that's for the Bobcat and the accessories.
and the accessories, snow plow and what, snow blower. I'll make a motion that we put it up on a public auction, Wisconsin surplus. Josh, you'll take some pictures of it and so on and so forth and work out the details, for $59,950. Would be our reserve for the Bobcat and all attachments. Any further discussion? Is there a second?
I would second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Number 3, 4, and 5. If you want to pass this to Laura, please. We're gonna take all 3 items, 3, 4, and 5, discussion and possible action to rescind resolution 2021-001, 002, and 003 at the same time. Having said that, I've received counsel on the situation, and this is our attorney's advice, which I personally think we should go with. If you could please read that letter, it's from Attorney John McDonald.
As stated January 8th, 2024, clarification regarding resolutions 2021-001, -002, and -003. I'm writing to provide a clarification on resolutions 2021-001, 002, and 003, which have been a subject of discussion in relation to a new rezone application. It is essential to emphasize that these resolutions are specific to a prior rezone application and pertain exclusively to the circumstances surrounding that particular case. These resolutions were enacted to address and conclude matters related to the previous application, and they do not carry any implications for the current rezone application that has been recently filed. Therefore, there is no necessity to rescind the resolutions, as they remain relevant only to the context of the earlier application. The new application stands independently, unaffected by the decisions made in the past, and any concerns or considerations outlined in the aforementioned resolutions do not apply to the current case. Should you require any additional information or clarification, please do not hesitate to reach out. We appreciate your attention to this matter and your commitment to ensuring a thorough and accurate understanding of the resolutions in question.
Discussion.
So essentially, we don't take action on 3, 4, or 5, if we agree with the attorney.
If we take the advice of the attorney, which I would take the advice of the attorney. Basically saying that's old. It's not New. Right.
Do we need a motion to move past these three? Or just,
What do you think, Josh?
I mean, if we're not gonna take any action, otherwise there's obviously the potential action to rescind them, but you would need a motion to rescind any or all of them.
he says we don't have to do that.
No, I know, I'm just saying, if you and Frank chose that would be the right path to go, then you can motion and second that. Or I could, you could, I mean, whatever.
Can we just, it's done, that's it, that's the advice of the attorney, and we move forward?
That was my question, can we just go to new business, or do we have to have a motion of some kind to skip past these three?
If we're not gonna take action, we do not need a motion.
Okay, we're not taking action on items 3, 4, and
Well,
5.
do we all agree we're not taking action?
Uh,
Do we need to,
I'm in favor to stick with what the attorney's advice is.
as am I?
New business, number 1, discussion and possible action to consider a request by John and Michelle Marion for a rezone from industrial A3 to create 3 residential lots along County Highway H from parcel 24-0516-3342-001. Mr. Marion, Mrs. Marion.
What we'd like to do is, we'd like to change the zoning that is now industrial zoning, all the way, it's industrial zoning all the way from Dowland Lane, all the way to Bald Bluff parking lot. It's 18 point some acres of industrial land in which we have started putting storage lockers on the north end. We are doing the event venue in the old building of Mr. Young's, restoring that. And where the woods are now is where we would propose to put these 3 home sites. We propose to have 1 driveway accessing all 3. I've taken all 3 of you up individually. We have to show you the property. So what we'd like to do is, like I say, change it from industrial, which we can put commercial buildings on tomorrow without even asking anybody. It's a simple zoning permit. It's not what we wanna do. All the trees that you see there are staying there. The driveway's in, the first home site is probably 90% cleared already. So what you see from parking right there is what we wanna keep. You know, we wanna keep the buffer between our homes and the forest. Since then, I have gone and talked to, I could have gone around to the township of Palmyra. We got 100 signatures. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me if 100 people sign it. What matters to me are the people on that road. And here's all of them that say they want the home sites. You, all 4 of them, all 4 of you have this copy of all of the neighbors up there signing this. You also have a copy from the DNR now, saying that they don't get involved, is the gist of it. It goes into all kinds of things about, they have the opportunity to get the land, they pass on it, so on and so forth. I think that's all should be behind us. Let's talk about that this is industrial land that, as Mr. Hill stated, he'd rather see 3 home sites up in the woods or right across the street from him versus metal buildings 10 feet off the lot line. Because that's what can happen in the current zoning. Tomorrow, we're asking for the 3 home sites, and that's pretty much it.
I spoke with Brian Lemke, who's the head supervisor, I guess, I would say, out at Kevin Rain now here in 59. I had to go out there for something else and then road issues
Supervisor for the DNR?
for the DNRs. You go ahead. One out here now. And, I was reading your letter. They don't get involved with,
Correct.
town and county business unless it was something really drastic, just like your letter says from the DNR. I asked him about these invasive species. I asked him what they were. And his response to me was, I don't know. I says, what do you mean you don't know? Well, if they tell us, people will be out there running all over looking for it. That was his response to me. So, you know, obviously, sure.
You don't mean invasive species, you mean.
Or the
Endangered.
projected, or
Endangered.
endangered, I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing, you're right.
It's okay.
But he couldn't even list them. So, and he reiterated what you got from this other person, that they don't get involved with town and county zoning and building, unless it was a real emergency or something. And in this case, he certainly didn't feel like that there was any issue, and apparently this other person who's gave us a letter on doesn't think so either.
They normally don't get involved with these issues for anything. I mean, that's standard operation with the DNR. There's nothing unique about that.
Not what happened last time. I'll leave it at that.
It's-
Okay, so, I mean, that's all I have to say. Is there any
And-
questions that you?
And you going all over this with Jefferson County, the zoning department, whoever you have to speak to, had to speak to, and it's all okay by them.
Pardon?
And it's all okay by them.
What do you mean?
Jefferson County, the zoning of it, to rezone
Oh,
it.
how we're going about doing it, it has to go now in front of 2 county board meetings. So, I mean, you know, just like coming to you folks, not knowing how this is gonna be, I have to go to Jefferson County at the zoning level, at the zoning board, and then after that, it'll go to the full county board. So, I mean, this is, you know, talking to both Deb and Matt up in the zoning department, I mean, this is the way you go about doing it. So all I'm doing is I'm following through, and if the next step, anybody has any questions or concerns, to address them. But I think everybody, this is a very unique piece of property. You're not gonna find too many in Jefferson County where you have an island of industrial land out in the middle of a rural area. That's because this was industrial before zoning came about. Mr. Young was operating an industrial facility there. In fact, Ball Bluff parking lot and all that land over there was zoned industrial before the DNR got it. You go back in the records and it was zoned industrial. That hillside, that parking lot, all of that was industrial. That was supposed to be a ski hill. The ski lodge is still in the back there. When I was going on my back lot line, I came across 6-inch pipes, 20 foot long, and that was going to be as irrigation to pump water up to the hill for the ski hill.
I've seen that, and also up there, folks, there's man-made, what do you wanna call it, hills, or,
There's catch basins. They're basically, he created berms to collect his water so he could pump it back up onto the hill.
right,
This
that's all
was long
man-made.
before anybody knew what
Ma'am,
was there as far
ma'am,
as
You
native
had
plants.
your opportunity to speak,
I know
thank you.
that. I'm just telling, I just want you to understand the full breadth of it.
Let's go one at a time at least, okay?
I'm trying to thought, go ahead.
The bottom line is to save as many trees and everything like that would be to allow the homes. Because the alternative could be a parking lot and tin buildings and bright lights. That's what the alternative is. And if somebody says, well, just don't do it, I'm sorry, but, you know, we bought it to develop it, to do it, to use it. No different than somebody buys a home site and they want to build their own home on it. No different, it's just a different building. That's what it is. You know, there was all nothing where we live now. But you had the opportunity to be able to build your house. That's what it is. And in this particular case, we're not going from A1 to A3, where everybody should be concerned, because if we stop it, it's gonna stay A1. That's not the case here.
Well, I have a lot of friends that live on the perimeter of the Kettle Moraine Forest.
I live on the Kettle Moraine Forest.
Let me tell you, that they're restoring their land. They're not picking away at it and clear cutting it and then building on it.
And what
They're
was it?
restoring the
What was
land
it
to
zoned?
get rid of the invasive species.
And what was
or
it
adding-
zoned?
Recently,
What was it zoned?
oh, I'm sorry, it was agriculture.
Okay, there you go, you answered it. This is industrial.
I understand. I don't really like what you've done so far to that property. It really is an eyesore next to the forest.
No,
And who said that?
I said no.
Well,
That's not a true
No,
statement.
hey, stop,
That's
stop.
one person's opinion.
You don't
Okay,
think that those?
let-
No, I don't.
let's get back on track here. This is something between, okay, is there any more questions from me? I mean, I think I've explained it enough.
So in other words, one more time, you're gonna wanna build some nice homes up in the woods and preserve that the best you can. Otherwise, take it all down, right to Sam, 10 feet off the, you could do that. And driveway, buildings, etc. Just wanted to